Radical.
Welcome to Radical Rapid Fire Comment Response for December 26, 2022 through January 1st, 2023. Short comments, quick replies. Restaurants 97. Yeah, Lady Decade does not do it for me. I just don't see her appeal. With me, she is not physically attractive, just average in that area. Her personality has potential with me, however, but that may be it. But her looks, no, just no. I'll add to that, as far as her looks, she's not particularly stellar, I think. I mean, she's aight. She's aight. I just don't see so many people being obsessed with her with someone that just physically is aight. A lot of people like her personality. I will disagree with you because, Red, the thing is, even though, she has a lot in common with a lot of people that enjoy and play video games, I feel that if I were around her, probably we would talk about some game stuff, and that could be a positive. I like certain things, I guess, about like her bluntness, I suppose, if I'm just looking at it from a personality perspective. But ultimately, I don't really even think that she's that appealing on either front, particularly because she has what I'll call the bitch gene. You kind of notice it when you're around some women, and I don't have to be around her to notice it from the YouTube uploads. She has the bitch gene, and I don't like the bitch gene. Rune Mamba. You can stack Game Pass before the price hikes. I got 2 years for pretty cheap, and I'd stay away from the vapes. They're worse than cigarettes and more addictive. See, I don't know much about vaping. I don't know much about that. That's something I admittedly, I need to increase my knowledge on before I actually discuss vaping. As far as it goes with Game Pass, I know you can actually buy the little cards of Xbox Live, for a year. Can you do that with Game Pass? Do they actually have the physical cards that you could actually buy where you could stack? You said you could stack 2 years pretty cheap. Well, what if I just wanted to buy multiple? I guess that might bite you on the butt, because what if they get rid of Game Pass? I don't think they will. But what if you bought multiple ahead of time just thinking that you were going to get a deal? So either way, I could see arguments for or against, stacking or unstacking. Not Taguro. There's a version of vegetarians that eat fish. Something starting with the P, I think. They have to eat fish because of the lack of vitamin D or something. But curious why fish don't count as meat, but is own category. Yeah, I don't get why that's not meat. Fish is meat. That's meat. How is that not? I don't know. That's just a big form of cheating. But the fact that it's exposed right there that you're lacking vitamins if you cut out meat, that's problematic. I need to take by the way, my cinnamon for the day and my vitamin D3 over there because it's not particularly sunny. And when it's not that sunny outside, you need your vitamin D. But yeah, I don't get how there can be vegetarians that eat fish. That makes no sense. D-Skull Kid, do you still have these on your car? Well, last month I got 2 of the waterfalls replaced. I had them from, 2021, late 2021, maybe a year and a half, which is not that bad. I'm not going to complain. That's not that bad for the price I pay for those tires. And in that time, they were smooth riding tires. They were some smooth riding tires. So, yeah, I still got the back toe and need to be replaced in about a month or two. But, yeah, I do have, to answer your question, I do have half of those still in the car. Carlamo, I find your lack of 360 gameplay footage in recent months disturbing. Isn't that from Sidious in Star Wars? If I got that wrong, my apologies. I haven't seen the Star Wars original trilogy in a while. But you find that disturbing. Well, the deal is I had plans to clean out the hard drive and make more room to actually hook up a 360 and get some gameplay like I used to in the past. Shadow Mordor. I used to do that all the time because I used to play that all the time. But I'm just playing less games nowadays. And that's something I wanted to change this year. But the irony is I'm spending more time cleaning game disc and preparing consoles for sale. And I mostly get my game playing in actually the hours at the flea market when I'm testing games out and demoing them for people. So hopefully 2024, Carlamo, we'll definitely try to get some gameplay in the background in 2024. Mike Coolgreen. Microsoft claims to love indie games, but 90% of these indie games are trash and only serves to distract you, your 3-year-olds. At least PlayStation respects your time with games that don't suck in their subscription. Yeah, PlayStation, I mean, I don't have PlayStation. I don't have any PlayStations, but I could tell the offerings on PlayStation outside of Game Pass, let's say just their straight up offerings on their Games with Gold version that they have, far better than Microsoft. It's just been a lot of indie games, and they just look trash to be like a new console. There's one where like you bat around soccer balls with a baseball bat or some shit. And I'm like, really? This looks like a motherfucking phone game. So in most cases, like Xbox is offering you phone games every month. Whoop-de-fucking-do. There's one game that looks kind of interesting. It's a role-playing game, but it still looks kind of generic. So Microsoft, yeah, they're not respecting your time when it comes to that. Your money, what you pay for online and whatnot. They're just trying to get people into Game Pass is all it is. And it's really sad that they're doing that. At least give people an option for something that might have some AAA games. Hell, if it's just 360 AAA games, I mean, people would accept that. Like 10, 15-year-old AAA games over new indie games. Unless you're talking about like maybe something like Undertale or something really great that's an indie game. Arioka, Xbox Live Gold used to be worthy when they also gave away Xbox 360 games because it was ours to keep even after the subscription expired. But now without that feature, it's awful, especially for people who don't care about playing online. Yeah, used to be when it started. When it started, the first two games, I believe, were Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3. Two of the best games in those series. You see how far we've fallen in Games with Gold? It's supposed to be better, I think, when something increases, not worse. Halo 3, Assassin's Creed 2. And you could keep those games on your system. You didn't have to be connected to the service. But they took that away. Right? I think maybe some of these companies, maybe they didn't agree to it, whatever deal they have, because they figure like, well, if somebody leaves a service, then they want to play the game, they'd still have to, buy it from us. But yeah, like I said, if the irony is if they would release Halo 3 and Assassin's Creed 2 right now, a decade after the fact, or whenever they started Games with Gold, I forget when it was, if they would do that and announce that for next month, people would love it again. That's the irony. Penguin Wizard. The Office is such an overrated show. I agree about the character being cringy. Yeah, Steve Carell's character in The Office has to be one of the cringiest TV characters of all time. And the thing is, I mean, that can work, but the way his character is done, and the fact that you see him 80% of the time in the early Office, it doesn't hold up to repeated viewings. There's some bright spots on the show. The one weird guy with the glasses, he's kind of funny. There's a couple funny scenes there. And I like the way they approach some of the humor. But the fact that this is rated is one of the top, in some lists have it as the top 5 or maybe the best workplace comedy of all time. Get the fuck out of here, all right? Get the fuck out of here. There's one list where it's right below Cheers. Like, Cheers is only one step above of The Office. Are you serious? And it's rated above Taxi. Yeah, Taxi. Okay, so think to yourself, who's on the cast of The Office? All right? The character that I just mentioned, the cringy character. The weird guy with the glasses. See, no one really sticks out as amazing actors or actresses on that cast. So a show is driven by, of course, the story, the writing, but the actors and actresses is really what bring it home. It's rated above Taxi, the sitcom from 1978. This legendary sitcom, I'll say it's legendary because mostly the cast is legendary. Let me run over some of these names. Let me run through some of these names. And you tell me that The Office deserves to be ranked above Taxi. Judd Hirst. Tony Danza, Samantha, the guy from Who's the Boss. Danny DeVito, the guy from Twins and a lot of other movies, is Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Mary Lou Henner. Andy motherfucking Kaufman. Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, that Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future. Jeff Conaway. It just goes on and on. This is a star-studded cast right here. Half of this cast is better than the cast of The Office.